Hi there, I'm Kathy from Cookstars and this is my daughter Lily. We've actually got Lily to thank for Cookstars. Back when she was 5, so 7 years ago now, she's 12. Lily and I were cooking together in the kitchen one day and she said to me, "Mummy, this is what you should do for a job. You should do cooking classes," and it all spiraled from there. So I thought it'd be quite nice if Lily was here today to do this with us. So today we're going to make some biscuits and we're going to make them into heart shapes. Now I know lots of you won't have a heart shape cutter at home, so we're going to actually do a drawing on a piece of paper and then use that as a template, so we'll come to that in a minute. But anyway, hopefully you've got your ingredients ready and we're good to go. So we're going to start off by adding in our sugars. Do you want to do the sugar first, lovely? Okay. And we're going to put in 20 grams of icing sugar. So I'll let Lily do that. Don't worry if you haven't got icing sugar, actually you can just add the same quantity instead of caster sugar. We're going to be putting caster sugar in as well. So if you just put 40 grams of caster sugar rather than the 20 grams. And then 20 grams of caster sugar as well. That's it, a few more. That'll do. Okay, so we've got both the sugars in the bowl and then we are going to add in our butter. I'll just make sure it goes back to 0. And we need to put in 45 grams of butter. And then a little bit like we did yesterday, then we're just going to use the back of the spoon then just to squish all of that butter in with all of the sugar so it all comes together as one. That's it, tiny bit old. Actually, if you just use what's on your spoon, that should be fine. Okay, and then just use the back of the spoon then to cream it all together. So this is a really, really nice, simple recipe. We're probably going to make around about 4 or 5 hearts. It depends how big your drawing is going to be in a minute. That's it. It's quite nice doing this with a child, actually. Hopefully you'll be able to keep up as we're going along with this. That looks good, doesn't it? Nearly there?
Yes.
Nope. That looks lovely. Yeah, do you want to show it to the camera so people can see how it looks? So this is all of the ingredients all creamed up together there. Rightio, next we are going to put in half an egg. So the way we're going to do this is exactly what we do in our classes. We're going to use a cup, we're going to crack the egg into a cup, and then we're just going to pour out half of it then after we've whisked it. So do you want to use it? Do you want to do it with a knife? There we go. So all done. So you're just going to make a crack in it, then use your fingers or your thumbs then just to open it up, just like Lily did. Perfect. Shall I take that for you, lovely? Do you want to pass? There we go. And then we're just going to use a fork then to whisk that up. Beautiful. And then we're just going to pour half in. Mums and dads, you might want to help with this bit because quite often too much egg goes in. Not the end of the world if it does, just put a bit more of the dry ingredients in, but just half needs to go in. That's probably about right. Good girl, you're going to give that a stir. Lovely, and then we're going to put in a little bit of mixed spice. So you can just use a pinch of mixed spice. Or we've got a spoon here, we're just going to do 1/8. Do you want me to do it? Do you want to do it? Just 1/8 of a teaspoon, so not too much at all. Do you want to give that another stir? There we go. So that's going to just give it a bit of a nice taste. And all we need to put in now, set that to 0, is 85 grams now, I'll get you a clean spoon, of plain flour. So that's 85 grams of plain flour. You haven't made biscuits for a while, have you? Once it can go in. There we are. Teeny bit more. That's it. There we go. Okay, and do you want to give that a big stir up? So once you've got all of your ingredients in, then you're just going to give it a really big stir and it should start to come together into a nice dough. So you should start to get a ball of dough out of that. It should all just come together like so. That's it, it's looking nice. You can smell the mixed spice, can't you? It's lovely. How have you got some in your hair? Only you. That's great. we go, let's show people how that's looking. See, it's looking really, really nice. Okay, all we're going to do now, if it's looking a little bit damp like this is, or a little bit wet I should say, we're just going to pop a little bit more flour in there. That's probably just because a little bit more egg went in than that's needed. It's not a big deal. Just put a bit more flour in like I was saying earlier, and give that another stir. Teeny bit more bake. That's probably about right. There we are. Just so it's coming together then into a ball like you can see. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit onto the board now. Oh, that's quite a lot, isn't it? That's all right then. There we go. I'm just going to bring all of this together with our hands. So with this bit now, you need to make sure that you don't stick your fingers right in it. You need to hold it as if you're holding a little pet or something like that, rather than sticking your fingers into it, just so it's in a ball like this. Okay? You see that? We haven't got the best lighting, have we? Hopefully you can see it. And then we're just going to roll it in our flour a little bit. Do you want to do that? Roll it in the flour just a little bit, just because it might be a bit sticky like ours is. Here we go. So let's need a bit more rolling, a little bit more. There we go. And then we're just going to get our rolling pin, which is just there. And you're going to give it a bit of a roll. And we want to get it so that it's about, don't know if you can see, about that thick. About a pound coin thickness. Should I move it around for you a bit? There we go, that's probably about right. Okay, so we've now got our biscuit dough all ready. Now we're going to move on to making the hearts like I was saying about earlier. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. So what we've got here is just a piece of paper. So if you've got a heart-shaped cutter at home, obviously you can use that, or you might not want to do hearts, you can do whatever shape you want really. But if you wanted to do a heart, just because it's Mother's Day, we're going to use a piece of paper and a pen and just draw a heart on it. You probably want it about that sort of size if you can. Do you want to draw one? You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Oops. I'm testing my artistic abilities here. That'll do, isn't it? Okay, so just so it's about that sort of size. And then we're just going to get some scissors and cut around that. So this is going to be used as a template then for our biscuit dough. Or like I said, you don't need to do this. You can use, you can use any shape cutters that you've got at home if you wanted to. Or you could even, actually, if you don't want to even bother with cutters, if you just want to roll this up into a ball, a bit like we did with the bread dough yesterday, into a ball, and then just roll them out a little bit. You can just use round ones if you want. Totally up to you what you want to do with this.
It's also search up like templates of hearts and stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea. So print them out. Good thinking. You could tell you're younger than me. I wouldn't have thought of that. Good old-fashioned drawing. There we are. You're very careful, aren't you? Well done, Nels. There we are, well done, lovely. Okay, so we've got our heart for Mother's Day. So you're just going to place that onto the dough, like this, and then just get a knife and just cut around it. There we go. So when you put this down on your dough, try to get as many heart shapes as you can out of the one piece of dough, rather than having to re-roll it all at the end. So we'll see, I reckon you can get maybe 3 out of there. Want to give it a try? And then once we've done that, once we've cut all of the hearts out, we're just going to put them onto a lined baking tray. So just put a little bit of baking paper on there. Look. That's perfect. Yeah. Why are you laughing? You're not happy with it?
No, look at the bottom of it.
It's fine. It don't have to be perfect. Home cooking does not need to be perfect. Okay, so we've got our heart. I'm just going to place that onto the baking tray, and then we'll do the same then with the other ones. Do you want me to take over for a bit? Not very pleased with those, are you?
No.
But would I love it if I received this for Mother's Day?
I don't know.
I would.
Yes.
I would. I like anything homemade, don't I? There we go. So pick that one up as well. There we go, and let's do another one. There we are, so we got 3 out of it like we thought. And then we'll get all of this dough now, we'll get it all together again. Oh, don't take my heart. Just going to re-roll it up again. We'll put a bit more flour down on the board, because every time you touch it, because your hands are warm, it'll get that little bit more sticky. There we go, give it a bit of a roll on the board. Get your rolling pin again and roll it out and just start the process again until you've got a nice thin piece of dough again, like about a pound coin thickness. That's it, isn't it? Yeah. I'm taking over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I reckon we might be able to get 5 out of this, do you?
Yeah. Maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more. There we go, will that one fit on there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be able to get around 6 out. Or maybe you could just make it a cookie.
Yeah, I think we might just make a round one with this last bit. Do you want to roll it up into a ball and we'll just put that on the tray like that? There we go. So we'll just use this last one. A shame to waste it. We'll pop that on there as well. Okay. There we go. I hope you can see those lovely hearts all ready to go in the oven. So they're going to go in the oven now for around about 12 minutes on gas mark for 180 degrees. So we'll put them in and then we will come back to show you the rest. See you in a bit. Hello, we're back. So our cookies have been cooking for around about 12-13 minutes. Woo! You'll notice one's missing. Lily's nice and full now, aren't you, Lily? It's always good to have one that they can eat straight away. Okay, so we're going to decorate the tops of these now. So we're going to use some icing sugar to do that. If you haven't got icing sugar, it's really not too much of a problem. You could maybe use Nutella or something like that on them if you want. Or they're really nice like this, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to put 100 grams of icing sugar into our bowl. On the surface. A little bit more, nearly there. It's quite a messy job this, as it goes everywhere. Especially if you do like that. There we go. And then we're going to get a tablespoon and add a tablespoon of water to it. And then we're going to get a little spoon and just stir it up. I've got to be a bit careful with this because if you put too much water in it, you're going to get it the wrong consistency. So start off just with a tablespoon and give it a stir and then see how it looks. That's it, bring it all in from the sides as well. Because we don't want it to be too thick, we don't want it to be too runny either, so it's important to get this bit right. It takes a bit of time, but it's better to add slow. You can obviously add water, but you can't take it away.
You could add more icing sugar.
You could add more icing sugar, absolutely. But I've done that before and I've ended up using almost a whole packet by getting all my amounts wrong. We'll edit that bit out, shall we? Right, let's have a little look. Okay, you're going to put a tiny bit more water in. So I'll show you how this is looking with the 1 tablespoon. It's quite thick. We need just a little bit more in there. So, that's it. So look. I reckon a tiny bit more. Give that a stir up, let's have a look how that looks. It'll be about 20 millilitres you'll need in total. And there's 15 in a tablespoon, so it'll be a tablespoon and a bit. Yeah, you like that? So we're just going to get a little bit on a spoon. Oh, that's the best way to show you. And just put it on top of your cookie. Or your biscuit, whatever you want to call it. And then you can just use the back of your spoon then just to spread it over. Ugh. You're not keen on icing, are you?
No.
Do you want to do a Nutella one?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You need the Nutella one, do you?
Yeah.
I thought these were for Mother's Day.
I know, but I need them.
You need one. She needs it. Everyone needs a biscuit. Come on your way. There's 2 left. Which one do you want? So this has actually made quite a lot of icing. I know we're not, we're doing one with Nutella, but I'd still say that's probably a little bit too much. So When I write the recipe card up, I'm going to put 75 grams actually. Okay, so we've just got those covered now. Oh wow, that's a lot of Nutella. Oh my gosh, you won't sleep for a week. There we go. Okay, so all we're going to do now, if you've got them, don't worry if you haven't, but we're just going to put some sprinkles onto these now. So we're just going to get some sprinkles. These are ones I just happen to have in my cupboard. Sorry, I don't think you can see anything. I'm trying to show you through there. But I'm just going to take a few. Just put them onto your hand is the easiest way to do it first, because otherwise you're just going to end up with huge masses all over your cookies, which might not be a bad thing. Depends how you look at these things. I'm just going to sprinkle some of those on. Do you want to do the other ones? You don't like these little heart ones, do you?
No. It's going to taste like strawberries.
They smell like strawberries, actually. You going to do these ones, or are you doing your Nutella one?
I'll do my Nutella one.
Shall I get on with these ones then?
Yeah.
Okie dokes. I might do some these chocolate ones.
Got fingers.
Still working, I think. And I'll do some hearts. Put whatever you want on them. Or if you've got some icing pens, I double checked actually before we started, I haven't got any at the moment, but if you've got some icing pens, you can do some little designs on them, which would be really nice. Especially if you write mum or something like that on them. Or mummy, if you've managed to make an F, might be quite nice. There we go.
I feel like we're giving us the job that you want us to do for you on Mother's Day.
You gonna make some more?
Maybe.
Maybe. You could try writing them with some of the little sprinkles.
That would be difficult.
Difficult, but not impossible. Right, there we go. Oh, I don't think you can see any of them. I'll take a photo anyway. Let's have a look. Oh, that does look amazing.
Don't put it upside down.
Okay.
Otherwise it will come off.
Oh, there we are. You can see that one a bit. Yeah, it's got quite a few sprinkles on it. You can tell you did that one. Looks great though. So there we are. That is all you need to do. So just let them harden up a little bit. Now you need to let that icing harden up before you move them around too much. So just leave them for, I don't know, maybe about 5 minutes, something like that, until they harden up. And then you can give them to your mum then. And make sure, seeing as it's Mother's Day, that you let her know what a great job she's doing. All right, everybody. We will see you in a couple of days' time with another recipe. Take care until then. Bye.